Hello. So today we are back with LST CLAT 2026 DIN Quant. So in this session, we are again going to cover one set of quantitative techniques. As I have discussed before, that in quantitative techniques, it's important for you to solve few questions where so that you can get some additional marks, and that is going to help you increase the chances of LSR, NLU Jodhpur, or NLU Bangalore. So from there, now let's see what is today's set. So what are the topics you need to learn so that you can improve in quantitative techniques? There are a couple of things, right? You need to be very good with percentage, and the conversion from fraction to percentage. Other thing is going to be average. You have to be very comfortable with ratio. So there are 3 4 basic topics for which with which you have to be extremely comfortable. And once you are comfortable with these topics, and you are going to do extremely great in the exam. Just to practice these 3 topics: one is percentage, second is ratio, third one is average. I have talked about this in the last class, even I'm talking about today. So these 3 topics you need to be very comfortable with. Now let's see what today's set is talking about. Okay, so what does it say? So it says that the demand and supply of steel in million tons at SAL iron and steel plant documented for the years 2016 to 2021. So in this whole thing, the only important part is the data is talking about from year 2016 to year 2021. Rest everything is not important. Okay. Now the next line says surplus for a year is defined as supply minus demand. Now this is important thing that you need to note it down, that surplus is equal to supply minus demand. So this is the only formula. This is one formula that we are going to use in this set. Okay. Now, what does it says further? It says that in 2016, the demand of the steel was 45 million tons, and there was surplus of 4. Okay, whatever it is. So, other things are random informations, and those informations are going to help us solve the set completely. Fine. So let's start putting down the data. I already have a table made, and we are going to start with the table. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start filling everything in the data, in the table. So what is the first thing that we are going to say? The demand in 2016. So we have year 2016, demand was 45. So demand was 45. Okay. And there was a surplus of 4 million tons. So surplus is 4. So what is surplus? That is supply minus demand. I will write it like this, and that is equal to surplus. So supply minus demand is surplus, so, and surplus is 4, demand is 45. So what is going to be our supply? That should be 49. 49 minus 45 is equal to 4, and that's what that is given to us. Okay. Now, what is the next line it is talking about? It is saying that in year 2017, the supply was 4 million tons more than 2016. Okay. So in 2017, supply was 4 more than 16. So supply was 53. Okay. And then there was a surplus of 10 million tons. So surplus was 10. So supply minus demand is surplus. Supply is 53. Surplus is 10. So demand should be 43. Right, so we got this information, whatever was needed. Okay, now the demand was highest in 2021 at 64. Okay, so demand was 64. This is a point that we got. Whereas the supply was 4 million less than the demand. Supply was 4 million less than the demand. So supply was 60. Okay, so 60 minus 64 is equal to minus 4. So can we call it a surplus? It's not a surplus. We are going to call it as deficit, or we can say there is a surplus of minus 4. So whenever surplus is in negative, we call it deficit. So basically, there are going to be two terms. One is going to be surplus, second is deficit. So what is surplus? Surplus is supply minus demand. Deficit is supply minus demand. If supply minus demand is positive, we call it surplus. If supply minus demand is negative, we call it deficit. Right. Now let's move to the next point. What does it says? In 2020, the demand was 12.5% lower than the demand in 2021. So what is the important point we are going to see? This is 12.5%. Okay. Now, uh, uh, if I want to convert 12.5% into fraction, so first of all, I need to know that 12.5% is 1 by 8. But what if I don't know? Then how I'm going to calculate? Okay. So it's always wise to convert these percentages into fractions so that calculation becomes easier. So I can say that 25% is 1 upon 4, right? So 25% divided by 2 is going to be 1 upon 8, and 25% upon 2 is 12.5%. So 12.5% is going to be 1 upon 8, and that's what we know. Okay. So in 2020, the demand was 1 by 8 lower than the demand in 2021. So in 2021, demand was 64, and in 2020, 1/8 was lower. So 1/8 of 64 is going to be 8. So I can say that demand should be 56. We got it. Okay. Now what is the next point it says? It says that the demand was 40% more than the supply during that year. So in 2020, this was the demand, and the demand is 40% more than the supply. So let's assume supply is X, right? So supply plus 40% of the supply, and that should be equal to the demand, and that is equal to 56, right? So I can say that it is going to be 1.4x, and that is equal to 56, and that's what we are going to get. Remove decimal, put a 0. So this comes out to be 40. So what is the value of X? That is going to be 40. Now supply is 40, demand is 56. So basically there is going to be surplus of minus 16, or I can say deficit of 16 million tons. So that's what we know so far. Okay. So we have reached till 2020. Okay. In year 2019, supply was 1 million tons more than the demand. So supply was 1 million more than the demand. It means surplus was 1. This is in 2019. Okay. Uh, Supply was 1 million tons more than the demand. Demand was two-thirds of the demand in 2016. So what was the demand in 2016? That is 45. What is two-thirds of 45? That's going to be 30. So basically demand is going to be 30. So supply is going to be 31. Okay. In 2018, the supply was 25% more than the supply in 2020. Okay. In 2018, so in 2018, supplies this was 25% more than 2020 with a surplus of 8. Okay. So supply is 40. In 2020, supply is 40. In 2018, this value is 25% more than 2020. So 25% of 40 comes out to be 10. 25% is 1/4. We have already seen it. So 1/4 of 40 is 10. So this value comes out to be 50. So supply is 50, surplus is 8, so demand is going to be 42. And that's what we have. So we got the table filled. Now what is our job what is our job now? Just what I'm going to do, I am going to just read the questions and solve them and see what are the answers we can get. Okay. Now let's see for which year the surplus was highest. Okay. So in year 2016, surplus was 4. In year 2017, surplus was 10. In 2018, surplus was 8. And 19 it is 1. 2020 it is minus 16. And in 2020 it is minus 4. So you might feel that answer is going to be 2020. That's not true, because that's not surplus, that's deficit. So what is the highest surplus? That is 10, and it is going to happen in which year? That is 2017. So answer of this question is going to be option B. That is 2017. Okay. Now, let's look at the next question. What is the average supply of steel from 2016 to 2020? Okay. Now, let's read it. 2016 to 2020. Okay. So, in 2016, it is 49. In 2019, it is 31. So, I am going to add these two numbers first. So 49 plus 1 is 50, 50 plus 30 is 80. So this plus this is 80. Okay. 50 plus 50, 100. So it has become 180 plus 3, 183. 183 plus 40 is going to be 223. So what is the total supply? That's going to be 223, right? Now, which year we are talking, how many years we are talking about? We are talking about 5 years, right? So this comes out to be 44.6. That is going to be option D. Now we have already seen that how we can divide by 5 faster in the previous class, I think. But if you haven't seen that, so I'll explain it now. So basically, I need to divide 223 divided by 5. So what I'm going to do, I am going to multiply 223 by 2. Okay, so it is going to be 446. Now just put a decimal after 1 point, and that's it. That's the division by 5. So what is the division? How do we do the division by 5? What we simply do one thing, that is just multiply the number by 2 and put a decimal at one place. So basically how it is happening exactly, that is I am converting 5 into 10 upon 2. So that is actually going to be 223 into 2 divided by 10. So that's how we do actually division by 5. What is the, how do we multiply by 5? So for example, I need to multiply by 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide this number by 2. So it is going to be 1.5. Now remove decimal. So this is going to be multiplication by 5. So multiplication by 5 is what? That is divide by 2, multiply by 10. Division of 5 is what? Multiply by 2 divided by 10. That's it. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? What is the percentage increase in the demand in steel from 2016 to 2021? So demand in 2016 is 45 and demand in 2021 is 64. Okay, and I need to get a change from 45 to 64. Okay. Now, when we talk about percentage change, so formula for percentage change is given by change upon initial value into 100. So basically what happens, generally people are confused what is the initial value, because here you are going to see there are two numbers, one is 45, second is 64. So there is going to be change of 19. Now what you are going to put in the denominator, is it 45 or is it 64? Okay. So how we are going to figure out which value goes to denominator? So here look for a couple of words, that is to, from. So these kind of words are important. Sorry, not to, it's then, from. So any value that comes, let me write it a little more clearly, then and from. So any value that comes after these words is considered as the initial value, and that goes to denominator. So basically after from we have 2016, and in 2016 value is 45, so that goes to denominator into 100. That's what we are going to do. Okay. Now what, so what I can do, I can cancel it by 5. So it is 20, and it is going to be how much? 9. So we are going to be 380 divided by 9. So that comes out to be 40 is something, 42 point something. So answer of that question comes out to be option B. So that is how we are going to solve this question. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? During the year when there was no deficit but surplus. So it means we are not supposed to consider the years where the value is negative, and it is saying the among the positive values which is lowest. Okay, what is the approximate change, approximate percentage increase or decrease in demand when compared to the previous year? So after 2 we have previous year, so previous year goes to denominator. Okay, and we are looking for percentage change in demand. Okay, so in which year the surplus is lowest? I can say that is 2019, and I need percentage change from 42 to 30, right? So the question is talking about what is the percentage change in the demand from 2018 to 2019. That's what question is trying to say, right? So I am looking for the percentage change from 42 to 30. So I am going from 42 to 30. So what is the change? Change is 12. What is the initial value? That is 42 into 100. That's it. So basically 4 threes are 12. So this value is going to be little less than 30%. Is there any value that is little less than 30%? That is only option A, because if you see option D is very less, that's not even possible. So and other values are greater than 30%. So basically this can't be answer, this can't be answer, this can't be answer. So our job is also to eliminate the options to get the answer faster. So if I want to solve a question, get the answer very quickly, just look at the options and they are going to help you get the answer very quickly. So now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? During which of the following intervals did the company witness a surplus in every year? So surplus means positive values. In which year it got always a positive value? That is 2016, 17, 18, and 19. So 2016 to 2019, it always had a surplus. So answer of this question comes out to be option C, that is 2016 to 2019. And with this, we conclude this set. So anyone has any doubt in this? We can do the doubts if you want. Anyone faced any doubt? So if there is no question, then I would say I'll wind up the session. And thank you. Uh, Hari, is there any trick for faster calculation? So I won't, I don't know there is any trick for faster calculation, but I would like to say one thing that I always tell students to mug up the table. Right, that is the first point. Tables till 20, that will help. Second is learn from fraction to percentage conversion or percentage to fraction conversion. These two things are important. For example, if I'm saying, if I'm writing something like what is 1 by 9? So 1 by 9 is 11.11%. What is 1 by 12? That is 8.33%. So 8.33%, if you are going to see a number like 8.33%, so what you are going to think? You should think it is 1 by 12. If I'm talking about 11.11%, you should think it is 1 by 9. If you are seeing 1 by 11, it is 9.09%. So basically, if you mug up all these values, you will be comfortable. Like if you see in today's set, we have done a value of 12.5%. So if you know 12.5% is 1 by 8 already, then I think your speed will increase a lot. and that will help you in the exam. So basically you can cut down your time quite a lot. So to solve these kind of sets, 5 questions, you will be taking hardly 4 to 5 minutes if your calculation is faster. So that's what I would suggest, that mug up all the tables. Second thing, learn the mm, the conversion of fraction to percentage and percentage to fraction. That's it. Anything else? So I hope you understood everything, and with this we'll wind up. Fine, take care, bye bye, good night.